fuck, we can't handle these kids. And then you have the kids, and they like the dog.
Is a dog really like good practice for having a kid though?
No, dude, it's good. Well, okay,
because
that's only the first.
That's
stage.
something that a lot of couples do. Like they move in together, they want to play house, they get a dog, they break up. There's a bunch of controversy about who gets the dog.
True. The guy kills the dog.
Well,
just
the only fair way is we will saw the dog in half.
Yeah, exactly, dude. No, but it's a 2-part gambit. The first part is you get the dog to see if you're responsible enough to have kids. Then you have kids.
Not even responsible enough to have kids. You're responsible enough to you can take care of another living thing.
Yes, and then the second part is the dog dies when the kid's like of a reasonable age, and then they
learn about life.
It teaches the kid about death. Yeah, so it's a 2-part stroke.
That is interesting.
It's what most nuclear white middle class families do.
What does that mean? The nuclear family? Is that just like the average family, like a family of 4?
I'm just throwing big words around. I don't fucking know.
Well, no, I have heard that phrase before. The nuclear family.
It refers to your central family, your mom, dad, and your siblings.
It's just interchangeable with your immediate family.
Yeah, just your immediate family. Yeah.
Immediate family.
Nuclear. Nuclear.
Nuclear.
All right, when are we going to talk about 9/11?
Well, we're about a minute 30 in now, so
it's so passé, dude. Not only has it been 19 years. Not only has it been 19 years,
Jesus
Christ. It's been
9/11's so played out.
It's been more in the sense that
it's so 2001. It's so yesterday.
Well, only in the sense that like it's like September the 13th. I'm already gonna regret having this one online. I can't fucking.
Okay, so I've been thinking a lot about how I want the 9/11 discussion to go. So I don't want to focus on any. Well, I also want to start off with saying, I'm not blaming any of the victims who died, or I don't want to belittle the first responders or anything like that. So get that fucking idea out of your head.
Yeah, no,
this isn't gonna be like super nihilistic, like fuck everything. This is gonna be like just talking about the legitimate questions about the 9/11 attacks.
Yeah, like that event for those people was probably hell on earth. Like, it was hell on earth.
Yeah, man.
Like,
there's fucking planes slamming into buildings.
Yeah, there's a building. If you are in the building, there's a building falling on top of you. Even if you get out, your lungs and eyes and all that shit is going to be coated in asbestos. I read this thing on the Post of, like, an account from this dude who's, like, I only read it, but this guy sounded like a real fucking, like, New Yorker. Like,
New Yorker.
Like, I'm walking here, like one of those guys.
Yeah.
And he talked about how, like, he was lucky enough to get down the stairs and get out before the whole thing collapsed on him. But, like, he was just running on pure adrenaline, and then he didn't realize it until he got to the hospital, but he couldn't fucking see because he had, like, a million fucking fiberglass shards just all over his fucking eyes.
Oh, like, shit.
Yeah.
Wait, so he didn't realize he was blind?
Yeah, because he was just pumping off pure adrenaline just to fucking survive, to get out of there.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's, and, like, you know, like, so it's fucked up. Like, obviously we gotta get that out the gate. We're, like, you know, we're gonna have some sympathy here, but also we're gonna talk about. Now I got a list here.
Okay.
Of,
you have a list.
Well, I have a list here of events that also happened on 9/11, unrelated to the terrorist attacks. Okay, 2002, American gridiron football player Johnny Unitas.
Johnny Unitas,
considered one of the NFL's all-time greatest quarterbacks, dies in Maryland. 1985, American professional baseball player Pete Rose, Gamblin' Pete, registered his 4,192nd career hit, breaking a record set by Ty Cobb.
Dude, fuck the fucking New York Times. You gotta be subscribed to read an article.
1973, General Augusto Pinochet led a coup d'etat, overthrowing the government president Salvador Allende of Chile. So that happened.
Chile.
I'm not seeing any that happened specifically on September 11th.
2001.
All this stuff is like, 1697, Austrian forces won a decisive victory over the Ottoman army. This is fucking lame. I'm sorry, dude. I thought this was going to be a lot.
That's all good.
I thought this was going to be funny, but, well, honestly, man, like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I thought it would be at least something else interesting. Like, what if we found out that, like, on the same day, you know, Dick Cheney was, like, getting his balls waxed or something like that? You know what I mean? What if we found out that, like, on the same day there was, you know, It's a conspiracy. We're trying to find a conspiracy here. You know what I mean? Isn't this what this what's supposed to be about? The conspiracies.
I don't want to just outright say it's conspiracy theories because then people are gonna get turned off by it.
Okay.
But so something that I've seen in a lot of 9/11 documentaries that's like recurring, and it seems to be pretty like hard to refute it. And I'm trying to find it on here, but did you end up watching Loose Change?
Nope.
God damn it. Okay.
Nope. Dude, I don't watch shit. Or I watch shit, but I'm bad.
Not even for the show.
Not even for the show. Dude,
That's whatever.
Look, man, I've heard all of the fucking shit. I've heard about how they won't release the footage of the Pentagon getting hit and how the grass wasn't on fire.
Okay, so have you heard about the tape? So the alleged tape that was like of Osama bin Laden, and I say alleged because for the part I'm gonna get to, it's like a tape where he's like giving some speech in Arabic, and the FBI or the CIA or something translates it, and they say, "Oh, this is him admitting that like he's responsible for 9/11," and then like we're fucking like America's just a bunch of whiteys who don't speak Arabic, so we're like, "Oh yeah, get him." But I've seen the same clip, or like just like the same interview referred to a lot of it's this professor of Arabic studies at some like major university, and he reviewed the tape, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I've reviewed the official translation, like it's very troubling, especially in the parts where it's like said to specifically where bin Laden like specifically like claims responsibility." So he said the translations on that are iffy.
Okay, interesting.
So I think
he's not saying in the tapes that he claims responsibility.
He's not saying that he does. He's not saying that he doesn't. He's saying that the translations are incorrect.
But did he not do that shit?
I don't fucking know.
Did he not do that shit?
Yeah, so I mean, he lived in a fucking cave. Do you think he planned the most like I don't know.
Well, obviously a lot more like effort went into that than like.
Yeah, like I know it's not just bin Laden.
You ever hear the story about like the guys that actually did it? That like lived in
Hani
America
Hanjour.
Yeah, that like lived in America for a bit. Originally, they just sent two knuckleheads to America, and they gave him a fucking they gave him like the Microsoft computer with the fucking flight simulator shit. They gave him that, and they told him good luck. They told him figure it out. And then they sent in Hada, whatever the fuck his name was.
Hanjour.
They sent him in because he fucking knew what he was doing, and he basically got them into flight school, and he did all this shit, and he just he just got away with doing all this stuff because we had no fucking security whatsoever to do anything or whatever.
Nah, those guys all those guys were on a watch list for like since like 1999.
Oh fucking of course.
Most of them were,
and it shows you how fucking much work having this.
There was an FBI informant that lived with some of them for a while.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man, like
we literally we can't. We like everybody acts like if we have this fucking shit, if we have all this surveillance, mass surveillance, it doesn't do shit. It doesn't do shit. Like, come on, man.
No, it's just like it's just like looking at your Google search history so they can make your ads better.
I know, right?
That's all it's turned into. So that was another thing that I wanted to be a main part of the discussion, is like sort of the aftermath of it, like not just like the destruction of the buildings in New York.
But like,
just
like the Patriot Act and
exactly, the Patriot Act, mass surveillance, dogma. A lot of people don't understand what dogma is.
Anti-Islamic.
Islamophobia. That's been pretty prevalent in my life as well. Because it's just been ingrained into me. Like I don't fly a whole lot, but like I remember the first time I got on a flight after 9/11, I saw like an Indian family, and I was like. I was on edge, but I caught myself and I was like, "Why the fuck are you freaking out?" Like, it was like a fringe group that did of course nothing happened.
Dude, don't worry, they totally got checked. You know what I mean? They totally got fucking frisked, and like they looked inside of looked inside all of their shit, all of their hijabs or whatever. Like they rest assured.
But it's sad. It's sad that like I've been like conditioned to like have that reaction because I know I'm not the only one.
It's fight or flight, man. I swear to God, like I like what Bryce Mitchell said. There's this fighter named Bryce Mitchell, and he's like from Arkansas. He's a real fucking country boy, and he said in an interview when he did in L.A. he said yeah, I really don't feel comfortable being on planes, and he's like, why is that? He said like I always wear my steel-toed boots when I'm on planes. He's like, why is that? He says, terrorists. He's like, every time I'm in there, I size up people that could be terrorists. The second I see you trying to make a move, it's gonna get the boot.
Dude, if anyone's gonna try and hijack a plane, it's gonna be like a white incel school shooter type.
At this point in America,
In
yeah,
these
he's
days.
gonna have a complex like water bottle bomb or something like that, maybe.
No, man, they don't let you bring water on planes.
Then it's gonna be a tube of chapstick, or it's gonna be
Chapstick bomb.
They will find a way. If there's a will, there's a way.
I suppose.
I've been thinking a lot about plastic guns lately.
Am I bleeding?
Like, are there? Google if there's plastic guns. I bet you there's totally plastic guns.
You can 3D print a
Yeah,
gun.
there's absolutely plastic guns. So you could fucking sneak a little fucking plastic gun on a plane, shoot the air marshal, shoot the pilots, and then boom, you're good to go.
I'm not an expert but from what I've heard, 3D printed guns you can only shoot them a few times, but still, like you like
Dude,
you're getting a few shots off.
You got a gun on a plane. Well, like,
You're making the news.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Or even then, like, can you bring nunchucks on a plane? Can you bring a fucking?
I don't know.
Can you bring a baton or like some type of blunt object on a plane? Can you bring a flashlight on a plane?
I'm gonna Google search what you can not bring on a plane.
I feel like no matter what, if the terrorists really want to get on our planes and do that, well, first off, they're not going to try our planes anymore. I bet you they're going to start attacking our trains. I bet you they're going to try to bomb Elon Musk's tunnels. Because they know the air's off limits. They know that we're too tight on that now.
I've heard a lot of shit about how the TSA doesn't actually catch anyone.
They usually don't. There's been like plenty of examples of like post 9/11 bombers or potential bombers that didn't get caught by TSA, but
They'll fucking take your vape away and your bottle of Gatorade.
But the nice thing is, like, it's nice to know. Like, remember the underwear bomb guy?
No.
He got bungled by his own fucking stupidity. His bomb just didn't work. Like, I don't fucking know.
So the restrictions in the United States, you can't have 3.4 ounces or more than 3.4 ounces of a small liquid or gel. Can't have a quart size clear plastic zip top. It should be Ziploc bag.
Ziploc bag.
It says zip top bag.
You
You can't have liquids in a zip bag. These are all just about.
I don't blame for you. If you have liquids in a zip bag, dude, you are fucking a maniac already, dude. If you're just
the only reason people do that is because they're like, oh yeah, see, like is this like an acceptable amount of Gatorade that I have to put in a fucking bottle?
Well, what are you gonna fucking like drink it through a straw right there in the bag like some kind of fucking maniac?
I don't know. I think like.
Hang on a second. Let me show you this video.
I think that a lot of shit with the TSA, it's like that Goldblum quote, so busy focused on if they could, they didn't think if they should. Like all these restrictions, they don't have any of their intended effect. It's just like an inconvenience to people. Because you go through the TSA, then you got to throw away your Gatorade bottle, which you haven't finished yet. But like once you get through, you can go pay fucking $7 for one at the food stand.
So maybe it's all just a ploy to get you to spend more money at the fucking thing at the, what are those things called? The airport.
I feel like every U.S. law or U.S. agency is just a ploy to get you to spend more money.
I don't like that I can
some
remember.
way, shape,
I can
or form.
remember like a phrase like nuclear family, but I can't remember airport.
Priorities.
Okay, so what do you think? Well, here's what I want to know. Out of all of the conspiracies, because like people have been conspirizing about this since like it happened. Out of all of like the craziest conspiracies, which one do you think is the most true?
The most true?
Yeah, like what one do you think is like what one should be commonly accepted? Like Pentagon?
I think it should just be commonly. Okay, so Shanksville is pretty weird.
What's that?
So Shanksville, it was like Shanksville is Flight 93, and what happened with there is like supposedly the plane crashed in the middle of a field, and there's just like a giant gouge in the earth, but there's like they didn't find any of the like any pieces of the plane. They didn't find any of the passengers. And then with all of the flights, they didn't find any of like the passengers or like
Dude, it's
or
because
pieces of the plane.
probably got fucking immolated on contact.
But then in the official report, it's like, oh, we found the passport of Hani Hanju or like some other guy. Like they're like, we found these like Arabic driver's license or like these passports. Like, okay, so this you're telling me this fucking plane made of steel or whatever the fuck it's made of disintegrated and this piece of paper survived. It fucking vaporized the human bodies.
But a passport.
But you found a passport perfectly intact with just some dust on it.
Is that the official?
It's in the report. It is in the report that they found like and like
that says to me they probably planted the passport, but that doesn't mean that all those fucking poor folks didn't get vaporized.
I mean, that
happens, man. That happens if like especially like with steel. If you fucking have, I bet you if you have like fucking jet fuel
can't melt steel memes,
but like it can melt human flesh. So I'm sure if you bounce that fucking fuel off of like an exploding fucking steel tower,
I don't know,
you're probably gonna roast alive. And
I don't want to like put out the idea that like I know what happened on 9/11 and this is me sharing with everyone. Like the reason I think 9/11 is so interesting is because like there's so many questions about it, and like once you start to look into it, it makes sense why there's questions, because there's so many holes in the official story, and just like all of the reporting on it is shady. You know, like Dick Cheney and Bush, they wouldn't meet separately or under oath to talk about it. Like they wanted to be together for the TV interview about it.
Well, I feel like that's just because they knew, like I bet the reason why Bush,
the networks wanted them to meet separately, but they're like, no, we're meeting together.
That's because they knew how much shit they were in,
and we're not under oath
because they knew that something like this was probably going to happen.
I think that's probably the truest part. Like I don't like.
Oh, they had to have known it was going to happen. Like
I don't.
They already tried to.
I love the
up.
meme Bush did 9/11, but I don't know. Like I don't know if he actually did.
No, it's like he knew. He knew it was going to happen.
At the very least, he knew and then didn't do anything about it. And if anything, maybe he like just turned a blind eye and like which helped.
Well, I'd posit this, man. How can you know? There's a lot of people in this country.
Well, they were those guys were on watch lists, and they were living with an FBI informant.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate a little.
No, I understand.
Like I like to err on the side of rationality a little bit, but also, you know, there's a lot of. I think when it comes to an event like this, there's a lot of irrational stuff going on.
I think like just accepting the main story is a little irrational, and it's dogmatic. It's like believing the magic bullet theory about JFK. I remember the first time I learned about that in school. It was like 4th or 5th grade, and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, okay, so like what actually happened? Like I think I asked my teacher that, and he's like, well, like this is the official story. I'm like it doesn't make sense that a bullet fucking like curves so many times, and like there's a lot of inconsistencies with the 9/11 attacks, especially like I think Shanksville.
And so here's
the biggest example.
So you think that since then, as a result of the Bush administration and just the general the way our country is going, we approached a dogmatic view towards viewing this as in like America first, like fuck these guys, like we gotta retaliate. What are you trying to say?
Well, like with the dogmatic, it's just like, oh, you don't believe us? That's anti-American. How could you? What about these families, man? Think about the families.
True.
And like I get it, it's super emotional, but you know you got to still be rational, especially when you're governing a nation. Like you need to be able to separate yourself from that.
I also think it comes down to, I feel like I'm not saying like as Americans, you know, we're too coddled. You know, we're not used to a land. We're not used to domestic threats like acts of domestic terror.
That's why it's so shocking.
We're not, yeah, exactly. We're not used to bombs going off from people from other countries, you know, because we're so isolated. You know, what's our neighboring countries? Canada and Mexico. Yeah. They're not gonna They're not gonna throw missiles at us.
Cuba.
They're not gonna do that shit. Well,
Cuba.
Maybe 60 years ago. Well, nah, we
more than 60 now.
They ain't gonna fucking do shit, man. We cut them off fucking 60 years ago because they tried that shit. Like,
oh, Cuba.
I wish I could go to Cuba, man.
You can. You just gotta fly to Canada first.
Oh damn, that's actually real as shit.
Fuck. No, that's how Americans go to Cuba. You gotta fly. Oh. You fly to like Canada and just change flights there.
That's brilliant.
I would buy some like Canadian garb at the airport as well, so they don't think you're American.
Yeah, word. Get a little pin. Be eating like poutine. You know what I mean?
Instead of saying goodbye, say cheers.
They really do that?
Yeah.
Okay. Word.
A boot.
Cheers.
It's just like small subtle stuff. You could probably get away if you could fake like a South Dakotan accent.
I just don't like that. I don't like how uprighteous fucking Canada is with all the Justin Trudeau's. They like to act.
I don't think the people are like that.
They have the exact same history as us with all the fucking slavery and all the bullshit, and their fucking shit's built on indigenous ground too, and they want to act like they're better than us. Man, fuck Canada.
Yeah, but they got legal weed and health care.
Fuck Canada. They burned down the White House.
Did they?
Fuck Canada. Yeah, in the War of 1812. Fuck Canada.
They burned down the U.S. White House?
They fucking did. Remember, that's why they rebuilt it.
No, I didn't know that.
Google it. You can Google Canada burns down more. They fucking did that shit.
Interesting.
It's the only conflict we've ever had with Canada.
Canada.
They know better now. But okay, we got off topic. So okay, I guess so that's what you think the most that you think that just like that Bush knew about it. And do you think that's the one that like everybody should probably
even that like I'm kind of hesitant to say that because like I don't know what happened, but what I'm saying is the official story has so many holes in it. Like I just I'll question it.
I'll throw this. If anything, I wouldn't throw all the blame on Bush. I'd throw it on the FBI and the CIA
and Dick Cheney.
Namely,
Dick Cheney had
the FBI because that's kind of their bag. Well, actually, no, it's both of them because it's the CIA's bag too because they're all information bureaus. And
yeah,
like they were the ones that would have known because they're the ones that would have known about what was that first. There's that first attack where the guy tried to drove like the first attack on the World Trade Center where the guy drove the fucking.
Oh, that was in like the 90s.
Yeah, but nonetheless,
it was like 91. There was like a bomb in the basement.
But that's pretty close. That's only 10 years apart. He fucking put a bomb in the basement.
Yeah, a bomb in the basement though is different than hijacking a plane and slamming it into a building.
Nonetheless, like if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck,
it's a goose.
They should have known, like, or they did know and they just didn't know when it was gonna come or where it was gonna hit. But they also should have of course they should have known. They would have like it's because you think hitting the World Trade Center, that's a statement, man. That's hitting where the money's at.
Yeah, man, you're hitting New York. That's America.
But also,
anything.
But they're literally hitting the World Trade Center. They're hitting the place where all the money gets exchanged.
Yeah.
Like
if that had happened in Chicago, it probably still would have been world news. But the fact that it was in New York, like anything that happens in New York is international news. It doesn't really matter. Like
I was about to say Beatles breaking up.
Yeah,
that actually was not in New York. I don't fucking know.
The Beatles. Also, I've heard a lot that all of the pilots or the hijackers supposedly were very like just not skilled pilots.
Well, no shit, they weren't pilots at all.
So
that's something.
And so then there's this other idea that the Pentagon and Shanksville were hit by missiles because there's if you look at photography and footage of plane crashes, you can see the whole plane. Like there's like luggage, debris, seats, like the engines. Like the engines are fucking huge. They're not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. And in Shanksville, it's just a hole in the ground. And in the Pentagon, there's like 5 frames of footage.
Yeah, I was about to say they really.
Or like all you can really see is like something like pretty much like right there, and then the explosion.
And also, you really like not much of it was damaged. It was like one wing of it.
It was one side of the Pentagon, and it was the only side that was like built to withstand an attack. And also also the idea, or it's like in the official report for that, it says that he was like I don't remember it exactly, but he was coming towards the Pentagon, and instead of slamming right down in the middle of it, which would have caused the most damage, he pulled dropped like I think it was like 5,000 feet in altitude, and pulled off like a 360-degree turn with like very, very, very skilled precision. And like this was like someone who was not a good pilot, reportedly, supposedly. I could be wrong on all of this. This is like all just like regurgitated information from
here's the thing, man.
Articles and documentaries.
Something I read was that these are just two. They had 2 Momos at first, and then eventually they sent in that what's his face, whoever the fuck that guy's name was, and then he brought another because keep in mind there's like 11 of them, right? It was like there's like 2 Egyptian
there's a lot
guys.
Of them.
There's 2 most of them were Saudi Arabian, and then there's a couple Egyptian guys and like 1 Lebanese dude. Which is also fucked up. And then what did we do? We immediately went in and fucking like
all of the brown people.
Yeah, and then we put our shit in Afghanistan, Egyptian, Lebanese, fucking.
That's like the other biggest bullshit part. So like we tried to justify the war we had fucking Colin Powell lie to the UN about weapons of mass destruction, and like we kept pushing that lie, and then like literally the entire UN was like, we are not in favor of U.S. going to war with Iraq and Afghanistan, and then we did it anyways, and then we get there and we're like, well, we already started the war, but there's no weapons of mass destruction, but we already started, so we're just gonna stay here.
And then we
got the oil,
and then we left, and then immediately like fucking like the old.
We're still there, man. We haven't left.
Nah, here's what we left. We left where it didn't matter to us, where the oil was, and then a lot of people died because like then fucking old bastions of Saddam came back, and like fucking what do you call it? ISIS came in. They're like, okay, which one of all of you villages worked with the Americans? Okay, you're dead. No more Americans.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
Protect you. Trump just did
we
the
fucking
same.
radicalized the fuck out of all of them because
Trump
after
did
they
the same thing with the Turks, like not the Turks, the Kurds. The fucking the Christian militias in fucking Afghanistan or in Syria, and then if he was just like, okay, we're out of Syria, and then those guys are just fucking left with
what the fuck?
They're just left with their fucking thumbs up their ass, and then like boom, they're dead. Like we're not talking about that. They're probably just getting massacred right now. So yeah, you're right. You're right. It's been 20 years, and you're right. We're still
there, and like a big part of the reason we went there is like, first of all, you can't win the war on terror.
Yeah, no, you can't. You can't destroy an ideology.
We bombed a country in response to an attack from
an individual.
No, well, not from an individual, from an organization.
Yeah.
That'd be like if the U.S. got bombed because the NRA did something.
Yeah, but this is I like how we were complaining about making this podcast defeatist, and we're literally just like we're hashing this shit out that people have already fucking like agreed upon.
I don't know.
Like,
I think this is some interesting I hate this word, content.
Okay, so what's probably what's one conspiracy that maybe a lot of people believe that you don't believe? Like, what's one out of all of them, of the documentaries you've watched and all the shit you've read, and how, like, let's be real, we've gotten pretty woke this last week. We've got, at least you have. I've just kind of just
I mean,
around. But
I haven't like been watching too many documentaries.
But what's one conspiracy that people are all on that you're like, you know what, that's fucking stupid?
I don't know if it's really one thing. I just don't like it when people like. There's one thing wrong with it, and then they're really quick to jump on other points that might not have like as strong of an argument behind it, you know what I mean?
Interesting.
Just like, oh, like this one thing is wrong. Well, they're lying about all of it, which I don't know. I think that they probably like they had to have mixed some truth into it, like the footage of like the plane going into the building. Like you can't fake that.
They obviously flew some fucking planes
into the World
buildings.
Trade Center. It is like a commercial jetliner flying into the plane or flying into the building. With the other shit, there's no footage of it, so it could be a missile, but I don't know. But yeah, like people are so quick, and like I know we've kind of talked about this before. Like people are so quick to just identify as their beliefs, and they'll die on any hill. And like anyone who thinks any differently than them at all, they like that person should be fucking stoned to death.
Yeah, that is definitely kind of where we've gotten to at this point, the information society.
I would just say like keep an open mind for everything, I guess. Even if like even if you completely believe the official story, like just do some reading, and then you'll start to find some inconsistencies. There's inconsistencies in everything. There's inconsistencies in these podcasts.
True. You know this shit reminds me of? This reminds me of that King of the Hill where Dale made the radio station.
I think about that a lot when I'm doing this.
And he was like,
I've been forced to sell the station to Mexican interests. And then it's
it's like the dude literally like he starts saying some shit in Spanish.
And then he just holds a microphone up to a radio.
Another radio station. That's so Jake.
Octavio.
But like, it's kind of funny. I was watching that clip, and it kind of just made me realize like I don't even watch shows I like anymore. I just watch clips of like the shows on YouTube. Like I was watching clips from Jackie Brown today, and I basically just watched the last 20 minutes of Jackie Brown, but in disconnected clips. When in reality, I could have just fucking watched the movie. Which really fucks me up. I was watching like
Max Cherry, your bail bondsman.
I was watching like the end when Robert De Niro was like, I had to shoot her. She was pissing me off. It just happened.
I'd do it again.
He's like, and then Sammy's like, you shot her? Is she dead?
Because what we don't want is that bitch surviving on us.
God
Anyone but her.
God damn it. That
I just
movie's
needed you to be beautiful.
No, he said.
Or what does he say to him when he kills him?
He says, "What happened to you, man? Your ass used to be beautiful." Like, it's so fucking great.
I love when he just shoots her in the parking lot.
Yeah,
I hate that fucking song and that like so like that movie soundtrack. I've listened to it so fucking much. Like I really fuck with the Delphonics Street Life by I think it's Randy Crawford.
Also Bobby Womack with the main theme.
Oh yeah, 110th Street. Oh my god.
There's a lot of good songs.
The Sissy Strut.
I haven't even thought about what's playing. Yeah, and I like how you're right. I like how every character kind of has their own like.
But that one song that's playing when she's in the car, just being a fucking like slow lethargic bitch. I'm just like, I hate this song because I just associate it with someone like taking too long just to annoy you.
And then it makes you associate with the what's her face with the Melanie character. Like it just makes you associate like just like
that fucking shot of her and her feet with all the toe rings.
I like how she's not wearing shoes in like any scene in that.
Yeah,
movie.
man, it's because Tarantino's into feet. Well, she's always just wearing like a bikini top and then like just shorts.
Yeah, and just just getting high.
You want to fuck? Yeah.
That's basically like the extent they put into her character. She's a little one dimensional. I don't think her character passes the Bechdel test.
What is that?
It's the Bechdel test. It's like you take a piece of media, you see, is there more than 2 female characters in it? And then you say, do they have like that's check 1.
2 or more than 2?
Is there more than 2?
Jackie Brown has 2.
Is there more than 2? Okay. Now, do 2 of these female characters meet?
Yes.
Okay. Now, do they have a conversation that doesn't have anything to do with a man?
No.
And then it does not pass the. And I'm afraid 1997's Jackie Brown, produced by Harvey Weinstein, does not.
What?
Does not. Yeah,
what?
Man, yeah, man. Miramax. I'm afraid it does not pass the Bechdel test.
I know he was involved in that. It's still a good movie.
Give me another Weinstein movie.
Oh, another Weinstein movie?
Give me another one. Usual Suspects does not pass. It also has Kevin Spacey. Does not pass.
My friend was. I don't know if I've said this to you or said this on the
Good
show
Will
before,
Hunting.
but
does not pass.
On one of my friends was telling, and this is like before Kevin Spacey was like outed with all of his shit. But it's like he said that he heard him in an interview. And someone asked him, like, how, like, a lot of celebrities are very open about their personal life, and like they have a big online presence. How come you don't do that? And Kevin Spacey, at the time, who was not, like a known child molester or anything, he said, the less you know about my personal life, the easier it is for me to convince you that I'm the character on that screen. And like at the time, I was like, oh, it's so cool. He's so devoted to acting. But then I'm like, oh, he's just a rapist.
He does not want people to know he was fucking kids. Good God.
Remember when that came out? That information came. It was like, oh yeah, he's raping kids. He's like, I'm gay.
Yeah, he's like, I'm gay. And then he made those weird videos where he was like doing fucking the House of Cards.
That shit was insane. I didn't watch House of Cards, but I watched those videos.
Oh my God.
It was so like.
I have a bad taste.
I remember we talked about this once, and like that's really gonna be like the character that defined his career. Because like especially in like those videos, that's like blending. Like the lines of reality with the character, because it's like, yeah, it's Kevin Spacey, but he's also talking as the TV character. I should watch this show.
There's another thing.
Or don't they just write him out
in the last season? But you got 5 years of Spacey. No celebrities died in 9/11. No American celebrities died in 9/11.
Seth MacFarlane was supposed to be on one of the flights, but he was like late getting to the airport.
You got one potential, and even then. It's like
he was pretty fucking impactful, man. Like he made Family Guy, American Dad.
Okay, you're right. It was 2001. Family Guy had just come out.
American Dad wasn't out yet.
But also, he wasn't a home name yet. If he had died.
I mean, Family Guy aired in like 1999. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So by that time, it would have been 3 years in.
He wasn't he's still like not even a big super celebrity. He's just
he hosted the Oscars.
He's hosted some Comedy Central roast too.
Then
all right, yeah, I guess he's a big deal.
And I actually remember he hosted the Oscars.
He's put some music out as well.
Because I remember he hosted the Oscars because he made a joke about Weinstein. And like Weinstein was in the audience, he made a joke about Weinstein raping you, and Weinstein just looked pissed. And like I guess this was before people knew. Like you can look it up. Like I've
So
seen it.
yeah, all the celebrities knew.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knew.
Why? How come
So
people aren't
obvious.
blaming celebrities who
It
knew about it for
stares
not
you
outing
in
him
the
sooner?
face
Who was
because-
like the first person to say Harvey Weinstein's a rapist?
That's a good question. I know Uma Thurman like basically lost like all of her fucking cred in the industry because like she was fucking open about it. Like I don't know, man, but like a lot of people came out.
How do you spell Weinstein?
Wein.
Okay, yeah.
Steen.
Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein timeline.
Like I don't want to act like all I'm saying is like
Looks like it was in October 2017. Actress Rose McGowan and Ashley Judd are among the women who come forward.
I can see that. It's the 90s, man. Sleep with Ashley Judd.
Yeah, you want to be a movie star? I can get you a role, but
Good God. I'm ready. I'm ready for the same shit to happen with internet personalities. You know, I want.
you want to
Ninja-
be a TikTok star?
I want Ninja to get exposed. You know what I mean?
For what? We're all gonna get exposed for something. I didn't text my boss back. Maybe he got the message that no, I don't want to come into work right now.
That's the way. That's the way to do it, man. Silence. Just silence. Just
Nah,
fucking-
I like giving
radio
him some
silence.
notice, so at least he's not waiting.
That's good. That's good. That's nice of you. Okay, so but okay, but I forgot what we were talking about. Okay, so
we've
now,
been kind of like we were on 9/11 for about like 25 minutes, and we sort of drifted into Harvey Weinstein, but I don't really care. It's pretty
else-
organic,
what
good
else
flow.
is-
I haven't been stuttering too much. I did notice that on the last few episodes, I've been saying like a lot.
Whoa.
It's just because I don't know, like I've been like right now I'm loose, but I'm not so loose that I'm gonna just ramble on about a bunch of bullshit, even though that's pretty much what I've been doing.
I just want to know what I don't know. I guess it's like I think everybody wants like 9/11 is such a big thing. Everybody wants an explanation, but like it's like something like that. It's just like that's fucking
Do you
chaos,
think
bro.
do you
That's
think there's
chaos,
anyone
bro.
out there who knows everything that happened on 9/11 other than like Dick Cheney?
No, because that was a massive event with a lot of moving parts, and like nobody's gonna know everything. You know what I mean? Like it's just that's just what it is. Like it's, and I don't know. And I think we fixate on it as Americans because that's like the biggest.
It's like the most recent event where like, oh, we think the government is, obviously they're leaving out some key information.
Well, also it's the last time a foreign entity came into the country and killed a bunch of people, like a massive amount of people.
What about the coronavirus, the China virus?
And I don't fucking blame. I'm done blaming China for that. I was like, whenever we started this, I was really mad at China.
Let's check the
And I
coronavirus
remember-
numbers.
And I'll never forget, man. Like right when the coronavirus shit started, I remember I was watching one of the last UFC events that had a crowd, and Joanna this Polish lady with a really complicated last name fought this Chinese woman named Wei Li. And Wei Li is just a fucking refrigerator woman. Like, she's just stocky and angry and just angry looking. And these women beat the piss out of each other.
I think these statistics are wrong.
And in the end, the Chinese woman won. And like after she annihilated this chick. Like it was hard to watch at the end. Like her face was like puffing out. Like she had a big fucking like, she had like a, oh god, it was gross. She had a big sack of pus popping out of her forehead. She got fucked up. And then right when that was over, I ordered masks. Right once I saw that fight, I was like, you know what? It's going to happen. I ordered masks, and now here we are.
So this website says there's been 200,000 coronavirus deaths in the U.S., but wasn't it at like 300,000 like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, and aren't we at like 3 bajillion cases? 200,000?
Okay, no, but seriously, like, wasn't the number
200
at like 300,000 like a few weeks ago?
I thought it was like, so only 200,000 people have died.
In the U.S. In the U.S.
Is this on the CDC?
No.
Who's saying? Get a.
Is the CDC reliable? This is what I don't fucking like about Trump,
feel
man.
like
I
the
can't
same
trust
with
the
the
entities of the government anymore.
I feel like the CDC is gonna be pretty reliable, dog.
I don't know,
It's like
man.
scientist-
Who's in charge of
A
it?
scientist. Well, that's actually maybe. I don't know.
Oh no, dead air. Fuck. Oh no. Yeah, CDC is saying the same thing.
200,000.
200,000
I think that
deaths.
sounds reasonable. But how many cases are there?
Cases.
I think that sounds reasonable.
In the U.S., there's been 6,400,000
Damn.
cases.
6 million for that's got to be
40,000 new cases since yesterday.
Jesus Christ. Maybe we do just have to just.
We fucking deserve this, man.
Maybe it's just
We're
everybody.
too
should
arrogant.
Get it. Maybe just everybody should just get it. Like fuck. I mean, if everybody gets it, we could kind of sort of go back to normal.
Missouri's kind of we're in like the lower end of more cases.
Oh, cool. Who's got the least amount of cases? It's probably like Colorado or Utah or some of those like mountain places.
Alaska.
Alaska
and Wyoming.
Well, that makes sense. They're
Well, here's the map.
They're way out there. Yep. Man, Alaska's got to be nice right now. No corona. You get $1,000 a month. That ain't
Welcome
bad.
to Alaska. Here's $1,000.
That ain't bad. That is not bad at all. That is not bad at all.
I want to go to Alaska someday. I feel like it'd be a very beautiful
Final
scene
Frontier.
to look at there. Yeah, man, exactly. Is it Final Frontier or the Last Frontier? Final Frontier is space.
It's the last frontier in the American sense.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like the last frontier's got to be the ocean. It's got to be deep ocean.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I feel like we should be putting more effort into exploring the ocean as opposed to going into space.
I've thought about that for a long time. I think that would be interesting.
There's just so much fucked up stuff down there, man.
I think there's any like advanced underwater civilizations.
Maybe not, but there's definitely going to be some advanced sea life, sea creatures that could probably offer up some explanations to shit like evolution.
We just get super far down and find Cthulhu.
Yeah, maybe. Fucking maybe. You know, it's like we just like in the last like 30 years, we recently discovered hagfish. Hagfish are like these deep sea. They're gross. They're like these deep sea under eels, and they have this fucking they have this like gross membrane around them that like it basically it's like
this thing, Jesus.
But like the thing is the
This is
membrane,
nightmare fuel.
the slime around them supposedly like might offer like it might be like a biological super tool.
For what?
Look it up.
Just hagfish goop slime.
Yeah, like
Hagfish
it's
slime.
apparently it's got like all these fucking enzymes and shit in there. It's like we could use it for like a glue. Or something like
Hagfish
that.
slime is a protein-based jelly-like substance emitted by hagfish as protection against predators. The slime is made up of strands that are stronger than nylon, thinner than human hair, and very flexible.
See, look
That's
at that.
Interesting.
Look at that, man.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't want to look at it, man. I don't like those things. They're bottom feeders, so like they feed on like dead whales and shit like that.
Yeah, so we're catfish.
Yeah.
My roommate he wasn't like giving me shit, but he was like, catfish is disgusting because I was making catfish the other day.
Catfish are a gross looking animal.
No, yeah, but when you cook them, they're tasty.
I do enjoy some good catfish.
What's your favorite fish? Let us know in the comments below.
I'll eat anything. I definitely like freshwater fish. But I don't fucking know. Like, here's a good one. Little hypothetical. If we are gonna be approaching, I'm gonna play the dogmatic American here.
Okay.
Let's say you're going to work. It's your fucking. It's
Where do I work at?
the World Trade Center.
Okay.
Guess what day it is?
Fuck.
Okay, so let's
September 10th,
you know what I mean.
2000.
Let's say you're on like the 100th, 200th floor. And this could be a hypothetical
Okay, so like
situation.
I'm like in the building when it gets hit.
What do you do? What's your game plan? And you're up top. There's like no chance of surviving. But you don't want to believe that. Do you jump? What do you do?
So has the planes hit the building? At this point,
how about you're in the unique position you're watching it come towards you?
And I don't die immediately from the impact?
Well, you probably will, but like, let's see. You see that play? What's your go-to move? I feel like this is too arbitrary a question. I don't fucking know.
Oh no, I'm trying really hard to put myself in this person's shoes. So if I'm working in the World Trade Center, like, you know, like obviously I've been like like I have a career in like business or something, and I've been working for a while. If I'm on like the 100th something floor of the World Trade Center, so I'm probably a bit further down in my life. I don't know. Maybe I got like a wife and a son or something.
Yeah, probably, dude.
If I knew,
that's the saddest thing.
I would.
That's the saddest thing about this. Like all these.
I don't know. Yeah,
all these
man.
people
Like what can you do? Like just call your mom, call your loved ones.
There's just like 3,000 fucking just like frightened voicemails.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's where the dog comes back in. Man, I also feel bad about that shit. But like,
ethos is very powerful in
depressing.
persuasion.
And ever since then, and it's like, and I think it's kind of interesting. That's like, people are afraid to come to America because they're afraid of homegrown terrorism. They're afraid of school shootings.
I mean, yeah, that shit happens all the fucking time. I don't know. That's a topic for another time. Gun control is interesting.
We haven't had one for a while.
Yeah, because no one's been in school.
Damn, I hadn't even thought about that. Fuck, bro.
We cured school shootings. All we had to do was cancel school. Dude, there was like a meme of Trump like a while ago, and it was just like it just had like that weird like psychedelic like filter edit on it. It's like Trump solves school shootings by canceling school. Now here we are.
They'll definitely give him credit for that, though. It's like
there has been
we look back and we're like
dramatic decrease in school shootings.
It's like how we look back at like Reagan. We think it's like Reagan fucking reduced drug use because he just like gave you horrible prison time.
He introduced drug use and then decreased it.
Exactly. But it's just like because he arrested like all the black people using drugs and like put them in prison forever.
And then he gave them all AIDS too.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
In 1982, Ronald Reagan invented AIDS.
Attention, everybody.
When
Jesus was black, Ronald Reagan is the devil, and the U.S. government is lying about 9/11.
Boondocks.
I believe so.
That's
shout out to Regina King, solid voice actor.
It's a good quote.
Actress. I think it's
literally chop
the first episode of that show.
I think it is too.
Like I don't even know. I heard they're gonna bring it back even though John Witherspoon is dead.
Rest in peace, granddad.
Yeah, I don't think that show would work without him. Like his voice brought too much presence to like the character. I don't fucking know. I don't care.
All the shit with stink meter.
I don't
kind of revolves around him.
Yeah, and I don't know. That's just a cartoon though. That was not the September 11th attacks.
They could do the chef route and just like have like a soundboard of him,
or they can just change it up a little bit. Like I hate it when shows like don't change it up. Well,
it's hard to do that with a cartoon because the character didn't die, the actor did. And like if it's when it's live action, it's a little different at least.
I don't know, man. Like
plus you also see like if there's like child actors, you see them age, and then I like
seeing people try to. I don't know. I also think the show did enough, man. It's like you got enough of it. And also Charlie Murphy's dead too, and he was in the show too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the white dudes with the white army dudes. He was the guy who was like, I went to Afghanistan to find bitches, but they all got the shit on their face. I don't know.
Charlie Murphy's dead too.
I was say Charlie Murphy died, man.
That was how you introduced him.
Not a stupid. Not a fun way to do. Not a fun
redundant.
To Eddie Murphy, but
Ed Murph.
I don't know. I just like that. Like I think Charlie Murphy's story is real interesting because like the dude like he was just like chilling and then he joined the military and then he got out and right when he got out his brother got famous so he just became like his security guard.
Yeah.
And like he kind of just became like the drug guy because he said a lot of people would like want to do drugs or want to drink with Eddie, but like he didn't do any drugs or drink, so he basically just like passed those guys off to Charlie to be like, okay, I can't do this with you, but like my brother, he's
look so similar.
Yeah, it's like he's what you get, and then that just led him to meeting like Rick James and Prince and all that shit, and then you got the classics, but I don't know, but you know what I mean. And luckily Charlie Murphy was not on 9/11, just like how no American celebrities are. I don't know why I'm preoccupied with that. I just feel like
that's a 9/11 episode.
Many people, and also they were going to New York. It's like I feel like I don't know. Maybe there was like somebody put out on the wire that like some shit was gonna happen or something like that. I don't fucking know. I don't know. And that's the thing. We don't know. It's been 20
Yeah,
years.
that's what I want the main message of this to be. Like, no one really knows what happened on 9/11 because there's like missing information, there's inconsistencies.
Yep.
A lot of stuff has just been like outright scientifically disproven.
So we just gotta, but here we are. And what do you think that means, man? Like, what do you think being here? I guess that's a big question. Because like, nothing has affected our lives more than 9/11 because it happened.
Absolutely.
It happened right when we were kids.
Pre 9/11 is a phrase you hear all the time with like just about anything.
Yeah, it was deterministic.
Oh yeah,
So,
like this is how it was pre 9/11.
So what does it mean? What does it mean to live in this America that we live in now, in a post 9/11 society?
I mean, I can't really speak to that because that's the only kind of society I remember. Like, I was like 4 years old when 9/11 happened.
I'll tell you what it fucking means. We're fucking afraid of everything.
That is, yeah. Well,
that's what I'll say.
We're afraid of things that people tell us to be afraid of.
Yeah, and
because
we're also
the first time I went to New York, I was like in high school. So like I could like if my mom or like, I don't want to say society, but like if society had never like taught me about 9/11, I probably wouldn't have known it happened because I wasn't there. And then who knows? Maybe that time I got on a plane, I wouldn't have like gotten kind of.
Did you guys see Ground Zero?
What?
Did you guys see Ground Zero?
I did see Ground Zero.
Did you cry?
No.
Did you fucking throw money? Did you
I took some pictures that's
dumb.
deleted since then probably. I like New York.
What did they do with it? They made it into
a
a
fountain. Yeah, it's like a water fountain.
That's nice.
It's just a giant hole in the ground.
That's nice.
I mean, like they got like all the names of like the first responders and like people who died, etc.
I'd much rather go to that coast right now than go to the West Coast. I feel like the wet like.
Yeah, man, they're fucking on fire over there. The world, like you want to talk about the world ending. Oh, it's just.
I saw those shots of like
orange skies.
Yeah, I saw the orange sky. That was like looked like Blade Runner. That was fucking crazy. I don't know. It all is what it is. But we're just sitting here right in the middle.
Yeah.
We're in the fucking flyover. And
But I don't know. I always feel kind of weird when I try and have like some like vague cliche like trying to sound deep sentence or quote on here. Just because like it makes me feel like a douchebag. It's like, listen to how smart I am.
That's my whole life, bro. Don't worry about it.
You kind of like I've kind of realized you have to get over that if you're gonna have.
If you're gonna say
if you're gonna have a
man.
like a podcast or a radio show,
if you're gonna state your opinions, don't worry about it.
That's not super scripted.
You gotta let your nuts hang.
Exactly.
Don't worry about it.
But I will say the government is capable of a lot of stuff. They've lied to us in the past. I don't see any reason to believe the contrary on this thing. And like also like on like the flip side of that coin is like, like just use your fucking brain.
Word.
Like,
yeah, use your noggin.
It's like I don't want to sound like, oh, I'm so much smarter than everyone, but like it's usually pretty easy for me to like be like, okay, this is like an actual legitimate like you have like good evidence to back it up, like it's logical versus like, oh, the moon's made of cheese. We faked the moon landing. The footage of the moon landing might be fake, but I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah, we agree to be on the moon. Maybe not all the footage of us being on the moon.
Yeah, I believe we've been to the moon. The footage is questionable, though.
I like that, man. I like that Joe Rogan was like a hardcore moon landing denier, and now like
I can't tell with him because a lot of times he'll just say shit to rile people up. Like everyone was telling me.
No, dude, like in the Death Squad days, he was like hardcore to not believe that the fucking moon landing was real. And
yeah, but he's open-minded.
He eventually turned around. Yeah, and it
when he had Burr on recently, and everyone and like he said the shit about the masks. And like everyone was like, oh yeah, like Rogan and Burr got beef now. And like I watched it, I was like,
Burr!
no. I'm like, no, he's just fucking like trying to make him go off because they're friends.
Yeah, that's and I will say it's something a little funny thing going on is a lot of his episodes are not getting on Spotify.
I feel like they've all been on Spotify.
Nah, dude, some of the early episodes are not on Spotify.
Oh, I've just been like looking at the new ones on there.
And like a lot of the old ones aren't on there, and like even some of the new ones. Like,
how do you feel about his new studio in Texas?
What I don't care. I don't care about that. I think that's fine as long as he's still doing the show.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I love
that podcast.
I think it's kind of strange that he moved. Like, it makes sense that he moved to Texas, but at the same time, like
LA is literally overrun with homeless people. Like, you can't go to the fucking store without having to give $1 to some homeless dude.
But he's like always been talking about like, oh, we should like. He's like, oh, like me and Joey Diaz and Ari should all move to Colorado. Like, let's all move to Boulder.
He probably. Well, I hate to say,
I was watching the Ron White
Texas
episode, and they're talking about how weed's illegal, but like he's still there because they're in Austin.
Maybe he got. I don't know, man. Maybe he just liked. He probably just liked it better out there. Like, you can get away with a lot of shit in Texas. You can own a lot. You can own a lot of property.
Own a lot of guns.
You still get the nice weather. You know, you're close to Mexico if that's your bag. Yeah, you can.
They're in Austin too, which is
very liberal, very very open minded, and also like there's like a lot of comedy in Texas, so he can still.
He was talking with Ron White.
He can still do his job. He can still do whatever the fuck he wants, and like
he's gonna be fine.
I'm
not worried about that show like ending or anything. I just thought it was interesting. I want to know where he got the jar of DMT, because like my favorite thing he talks about on that show is when he's like, yeah, I used to when it was legal to buy on the internet, I bought a big jar of DMT. No, that was actually part of the deal with Spotify. It was $100
million in a big jar.
The original offer was $200 million, and he turned that down, and he's like, I will do it for $100 million and 4 pounds of DMT.
You don't even need that much to fucking get high on.
Well, yeah, but now he's
trying to get the whole country high. He's gonna put that shit.
He's got a lifetime supply now.
Put that shit into a weather balloon and then have it explode and get into the like
$100 million though. Just to keep doing like imagine.
God damn.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
I didn't make a Patreon for this. Not that I'm gonna make anywhere near that kind of money.
Nobody is gonna fucking spend money. I will encourage people right now. If you see the link to the Patreon for this podcast, do not give this man money. Sorry, bud.
Wow.
I just don't like. I hate to say. I don't think this has been a good episode. I hate to say. I don't think this has been a good episode because I feel like we're saying shit about 9/11 that like people already fucking know.
What the fuck is a podcast at all? It's just we're just regurgitating cool shit.
I don't know. It's just like I don't know. Maybe it's just because I just feel uncomfortable talking about like not that I don't feel uncomfortable talking about 9/11. I'll talk about anything.
The peons will enjoy it.
But I just don't like
the underlings.
That's what I mean. I just don't want to feel like I'm just like I don't want to feel like I'm ham-fisting anything, and I definitely don't want to feel like I'm spoon-feeding anything to anybody. Like I don't want to feel I don't want to. Like so I don't know. This is a bad place to end.
I don't know. Like the way I try and look at it is like you just gotta like sharing information.
Yeah, and we're just talking. So I don't know. Upload it, listen to it. Take what you want. It is what it is. We're just talking about that.
How do you think it could be better?
I honestly don't fucking know, dude. I don't know. I guess I'm just pissy because like
we have been casting a lot recently.
Well, it's basically like
this is like the third one in like 4 days.
This podcast has basically been like it's like if like the 9/11 clock was on 9/11, if like your clock over there was on 9/11 and then it just didn't leave, so it's like constantly reminding me about fucking 9/11. It's a bummer. 9/11 is a bummer subject.
I know it is.
It's like for Americans.
It's kind of topical though right now. I mean, it would have been better if we would have done this a few days ago, but I don't know.
No, this is better.
It doesn't matter.
This is better.
I like being late to the party.
I think we've done.
Fashionably late.
Yeah, I don't care. Fucking long live, solid podcast. I'm done.
Yeah. Thanks.